Hey guys, so in this first impressions review and demo, I will be showing you the Milani Amore matte lip creams. Very exciting new limited edition product from Milani. Allegedly, these were supposed to release in September, but I found them today at Walgreens store. I had seen a post about them a while ago, maybe like a week or so ago, and I've sort of been on the hunt for them ever since I got back from in town. And I tried a couple of different Walgreens stores and actually came across them today. They were in sort of a weird spot though. Like normally my Walgreens has them on all the new stuff on one aisle, and they were on the back side of that aisle. So I think there's a lot of new stuff out for summer. So just keep your eyes peeled, look in strange places because you might be able to find them. The display must have just gotten put out because all of the slots were filled. So there are 2 of every color, and I believe there are 8 colors available. Picked up 4 of them, and I think they have a really great price. They're only $6.99. So it was about $30 with tax for all 4, which I think is a really good price considering most of the liquid matte lip creams that are out right now, aside from NYX, are probably about that much for one. So I've seen so many different videos, blog posts, reviews, pictures of different ones from Anastasia, from ColourPop, Jeffree Star. So many different brands have them right now, and I love the NYX soft matte lip creams. I think those are incredible, and they're a similar price point to the Milani ones. I can't really tell you how they compare to other liquid matte lip creams, but I will just, give you my first impressions and thoughts on this, and I'll sort of give you a review as the day wears on so you can see how these sort of last throughout a few hours wear time. Right now I am wearing this one, which is Embrace. It is a nice deep sort of raspberry color. Just to tell you a little bit about the application and the product itself, it is a very thin consistency. So I expected it to be a little bit thicker because recently I was in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and I picked up one of the Bourjois lip velvets, and that actually has a much thicker consistency. I'll show you a side-by-side here of the Bourjois on the left and the Milani on the right, and the consistency is completely different, although the finish is sort of similar because it's giving you that just matte finish. I do feel like the Milani is a little bit easier to apply, and it feels more lightweight on the lips. It dries down very quickly, and you can see, when I do that, nothing comes off. I got a little bit on my fingertips, but right now nothing is coming off. So they're very, very matte, very kiss proof, if you want to call it that, and that does happen quite quickly, so you have to work rather fast to get it smoothed out onto the lips. I love the smell of these. They smell like cake batter, so they're sort of sweet. The Bourjois one that I picked up in Belfast, I don't like the smell of that at all. I mean, I'll wear it because the smell goes away. It does not have a pleasant smell. These actually have a very pleasant smell. If you like anything vanilla scented, you'll really like these. So the consistency is really thin when you apply it. The lighter shades seem to apply more evenly than the darker shades, and that just may be the nature of the color, because when you have something that's lighter, it's closer to your lip color, so it doesn't seem to apply as unevenly. You have to be a lot more careful with the darker shades, and you'll see that here in a minute when I'm actually applying them. They feel extremely lightweight on the lips after they dry down, so I don't feel like they're heavy or tacky at all. Earlier today I wore the Beloved color, and I had about a 2-hour lecture that I gave for my class, and so when I got back in the car, the inside of my lips were that was worn away. So I reapplied this over top of what was already there. I would not recommend that. It did not feel good, and it sort of had like a tacky texture, and it didn't dry down as quickly as it did when I applied it at first. So if you're going to wear these, I would first of all make sure that you want to wear that color because they're really difficult to remove. And if you want to wear them for a long period of time, just be aware that you might have to reapply, but maybe really stick to just getting it on the area that the product has worn away, because if you overlap them, they don't feel so good. I tried to look up some stuff on these on the Milani website, but they're not listed yet, so I don't have any claims for the products other than what the display said, and it didn't say anything. It just had Milani matte lip creams in the colors. It didn't say any kind of, claims for the products as far as wear time or anything like that. From what I judged today, the wear time on them could range anywhere from, 2 to 5 hours, depending on what you're doing. I was doing a lot of talking, and I have a tendency to lick my lips quite a bit, so I wouldn't be the best judge of how long it might last on you if you don't do that. If you're eating or anything like that, it's definitely going to wear away somewhat, but I feel like it doesn't leave you with just a ring around the lips, if you know what I mean. It doesn't look like you just have lip liner on. So it does wear a little bit more evenly than I expected it to. Now that was for the lighter color, so we're going to look look and see how the darker color goes in a few hours and see how that looks. You can see in the close-up here what the applicator looks like. It's a really nice sponge tip or doe foot applicator that has some flexibility to it. There is a sort of flatness to it, which I feel like helps it apply a little bit more evenly. It does, however, hold a lot of product, so you need to be really aware of that when you go to put it on, there is quite a bit of product there. So what I've been doing is when I pull it out of the barrel here, I'll sort of wipe it along the edge, because I feel like if I don't do that, it just gives too much product on the applicator, and then you end up having too much here. And if you try to like wipe it, it goes disastrous. I did want to show you that I swatched these on my hand at 3 o'clock today, and they are still there at about 11:30 p.m. So they definitely are long wearing on my hand, not as long wearing on the lips. But let's go ahead and get into the swatches. So the first color that I was drawn to was Beloved. This one is sort of a orangey neutral, and it reminded me a lot of a color that I had from Clinique years ago. It was a matte lip color, and I can't even remember the name of it now, but I was obsessed with it when I was in high school, which was in the 90s. So I kind of thought this one would remind me of that quite a bit, and it looks actually more orange on me than it does in the package, and it also looks a lot darker. But I think with the right eyeshadow look, it could be really nice. It also reminds me, if you guys remember back in the day at Clinique, there were the original chubby sticks, and there was one called like Brownie or something like that. It sort of reminds me of that color a lot. And I think like with the eyeshadow look I have on today, I think it's a little too much. But with this and like a really dark brown eyeliner and not much else on the lid, I think it would be really, really pretty. So I'm excited to try this one out a little bit more with some different eyeshadow looks. But I do think it complements my skin tone really nicely. Of course, it applies really evenly, and the applicator is awesome. I just think it's a really beautiful color. So, oh my gosh, these are really difficult to remove when you just put them on. I just tried to take that first one off with my simple micellar water. Holy crap, it was like, I couldn't get it off. I had to put foundation over it to kind of give it a blank canvas. Yikes. So be aware of that. If you want to put it on temporarily, they're a little tricky to get off. The next color I picked up was Lust, and this is a really sort of dusty pink color. It reminds me a lot of the Bourjois Lip Velvet that I picked up when I was in Belfast, and so I was sort of reluctant to get the color because I didn't want a repeat, but I just couldn't help myself because it's really pretty neutral pink, so I had to get it. So this one I think is pretty true to what shows in the tube here. The first one I feel like applied a little bit darker than it looked in the actual packaging. But this one is pretty true to color. So I love this color. I think it's really nice. So the next one I was drawn to was Romance. Really beautiful sort of true red. I think it might lean a little cooler just based on the swatches that I put on my hand earlier. But I really wanted to try a couple of the darker shades, even though I'm always drawn to the more neutral ones, but I just thought I can't pass this up, and if in fact they are limited edition, I wanted to be sure and have some of these when fall rolls around. So I have not tried this yet at all, so this will be a true first impressions because I haven't even played around with it today, period. It's on my teeth. You have to be like super careful putting these on, because if you screw up and get it like outside your lip line, it's a lost cause. I mean, you're gonna have to take some like freaking paint thinner to get the crap off. I know this is sort of sounds weird, but I feel like this applicator is different. It's like, it's flimsier. Have you ever felt a cat's paw if they've had their claw removed? I know that sounds really weird, but that's sort of what it feels like. Strange. And you sort of need that stiffness to be able to apply it exactly and precisely. So that's kind of annoying. Because the applicator seems a little bit difficult to work with, a lip brush might work better to put this on, but I think I was still able to get a pretty precise line. I'm not liking this darker color as much as I like the lighter ones. I'm not sure, it doesn't seem even to me. I don't know if you can see that, like right here. it doesn't seem as even as the rest, and then right there and there it seems darker. So I'm not sure about that. Seems a little weird to me, but it didn't seem to spread on quite as evenly, and that may just be because it's darker, and you know, these lighter ones are closer to my natural lip color, so it's a little bit harder to tell when it's not as even of an application. So not as excited about this as I thought I would be. That's a little disappointing. Now to try to remove this. Yep, that's what it looks like right now. This is not good. Holy crap. I've been like rubbing on this forever trying to get it off, and it's just like staining my face. I look like a clown. I think the lesson is that you better make sure you want to wear this color before you put it on. If you notice, it's like seriously sticking everywhere. Yeah, I don't think the micellar water is gonna work. When in doubt, bring in the trusty Clinique Take the Day Off. Yeah. Ah. I just had to show you that because, oh my god. Ah! Lesson number 2, something that's a dual phase is gonna work a lot better than just a regular micellar water. Oh my gosh. I'm really glad I only bought 4 colors because my lips are getting tired already. So the last one that I picked up is Embrace, really beautiful sort of deep raspberry color. I'm super interested to see how this turns out because I have not tried this one yet either. Earlier today when I was going to class and everything, I just tried the 2 lighter colors, so this is sort of like the red one. I have not tested it out yet. Just so you know, this applicator seems more normal. I don't know what's up with that red one. I may have to return it and get a different one, but man, those are tricky to apply sometimes. I think what might be really helpful is a Q-tip. I really, for some reason, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I absolutely hate the concealer around the lip trick when you have darker shades on. I think, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I can see like a white line all the way around the lips. That's not something that I really like. So I'm just gonna take that Q-tip and kind of pull it around just to clean up any edges that may not look exactly perfect. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because I don't like that concealer trick. Tell me if I'm alone in that, but oof, not my favorite thing. So this one I feel like applied a little bit more evenly. Now I did do something different when I put it on that I didn't do on the red one. I don't know if you noticed it. I sort of swept it across the bottom lip and sort of rolled it against my top lip. And I feel like it distributed the product a little bit more evenly. So I do think that that is a trick that you should try with the darker one. With the lighter ones, it seems to apply a little bit more evenly, again, probably because it's closer to your lip color. But I did notice that when I swept it on, there was a little bit too much product, so rolling it onto the upper lip sort of helped even things out. I'm gonna keep this on for a little while and then come back and show you how it wears. I feel like with these darker colors, you'll be able to see a lot easier how it wears throughout a few hours. So I'll wear it for a little while and come back and show you how it looks. Okay, so I wanted to check back in with you a few hours later. It's actually been about 4 hours since I applied this. I did some editing, I talked to my husband, I watched some TV, I ate a low-carb ice cream bar, I drank some water, I drank some soda, and you can see that it's still pretty well intact. There's a little bit of wear, you know, around the inside, but as I was saying before, it doesn't wear completely away so that all you're left with is like a liner around, so it doesn't look too uneven or too patchy. I'm surprised that the darker color wears as well as it has, because the lighter color I noticed wore a lot more, and it may just been because I was talking a lot more. So that just gives you an idea of how it does wear. This is about a 4-hour difference in time, so that was about 11:30 and it's about 3:30 now. So yeah, it's been a while. It still really does look good. So I think these are a longer wearing product, of course, because they are matte. I wouldn't consider them an all day wear sort of thing, but definitely longer than your average lip product. So I hope that review was helpful in seeing the colors that I purchased. Now keep in mind there are more colors to be had. I just picked the ones that I felt like I would wear the most. If you're interested in these, I would keep your eyes open and peeled for your local Walgreens stores. They will go quickly when people spot them, so just be aware of that. Check online for swatches to see which ones you might like. If I find any links, I will list them below that might help you to see them before you go purchase. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to talk about all things glamour. See you guys later.